Hey, yeah. Hey everyone, how are you doing? Let me just set up a few things here before we get started. So today I just want to do something like a Venice town, but more smaller. Hello, Luis Gomez. How are you doing? Glad to see you. So I was looking at this piece here. Let me see if I can get it here. So yeah, I looked at this piece here and I thought I could give it a try because it looks amazing. It was done in Maya and ZBrush, but we're going to attempt it in Blender. So let me just get the image and just drop it in here. I think we're going to be looking at a lot of texturing. Let me expand this a bit. Hello, Vinit Pathak. Hello, Tusha. All right. Okay, so let's get right away to it. I'm just going to start with a plane. Let me turn on my shortcuts like so. Go to create a new material for the water because I usually like to start with water. So let me actually first set up my camera. I'll make it different aspect ratio, 1080 by 1920. Yeah, 1920. Maybe just make it a bit wider so we have the same aspect ratio as this. I'll go to my camera settings, change the focal length at 25. Just reposition. I don't need the snapping on. Let me bring this down. Give it a rotation. So we have our water. The water is very simple. You just start with a noise texture, noise map, noise texture. Feed that into a vector bump map. Hello, Joe31 animator. How are you doing? Let's bring the factor to the height. Scale this down. Maybe not that 0.5. Bring this normal to the normal map. Let me go to the materials so that we can preview this. Just reduce and make. I can actually just use reduce the roughness down and give this kind of a dark color, somewhere like that. And let's increase the scale up, something like that. And now we have our water. So then let's work on the buildings. The buildings are going to be very... let's just jump into it. I think we can... I'm fine, bro. I'm a big fan of you before. Thank you, man. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Let's start blocking out the scene here. Let me just... this is going to be our path. I'm not sure how I want to approach this. Let's do this side. So let me actually first draw the path of our water, and we're going to make the buildings follow this structure. Something like that. And then I can grab this on the other side. Hi, can you please tell me hi? Hello, Nadak. How are you doing? Okay, so this is going to be the design for this, and I think I can break this apart so that this extends a bit back. I can also maybe do something like that. So this is how our path is going to go, and I can extrude this to somewhere here. I think I need to reposition everything. So that's how things are going to look. What is that annoying beep in the background? I hear every once in a while. Is there a beep? Because I don't hear anything on my side. Are you sure it's not on your side? You're not actually the first person to tell me that. Oh, yeah, it's a meter. It's a power meter. It's a power meter. Actually, I never thought it would it goes through, but yeah. Hello from Russia. How are you? How are you doing? Okay, so this is where we are. We can go to the materials. I'm going to start the materials from scratch. So I'm going to go to my text folders, which you can, by the way, get from this page here. Let me just post that. Do you play PUBG? No, I've actually never played PUBG. I have not played PUBG. I guess I won't say I'm always busy. I just haven't gotten around to play a lot of games. Just going to extend this a bit like that. So this is going to be our, maybe should I make it a bit thinner? Maybe bring the camera a bit up, make this wider. I'll make our water like that. Now let's start working on this building here. The first thing I'm going to do is separate. Let me first apply the scale for this. I see it's probably so high pitched that the mic picks it up. No big deal. Yeah. I never really thought the mic picks it up, and it doesn't do it often. So now we have a prepaid system for our powers. I have a prepaid system for my power bill. So whenever the bill is about to, or my account is about to get exhausted, I get that warning, that beeping. So it's not always there, and that's why I usually forget about it. Have you ever used FSpy and use it a lot in the background? Yes, I've used it, but I usually, when I'm working on a project like this, the reason I don't really like using FSpy because FSpy kind of constrains you to creating the same piece, or you almost trying to create an identical piece. It kind of forces you to replicate the scene as it is, while I want to have that freedom to change things a bit. So that's why you don't see me use it a lot. So just eyeballing everything just gives me that that option to just to change things a bit. Okay, so I think I can start with these tiles here, roof tiles. Difference between GLTF and FBX. Well, I'm not very sure about the difference, but I know most applications support FBX than they support GBL. Finally, I got some time for stream. That's great to hear. Makes sense. Yeah. So can you teach me the reflection on rig skin? I'm not really sure if I get what you mean. Okay, so let's start detailing this. Let's start with the roof. So for the roof, let me look at this closely. It seems like let's create some roof tiles. I'm going to start with a plane like this. And what I'm going to do is use an array and increase the count. And I also need another array on the Y. Something like that. And what you can do is I'm going to give this a slight rotation on the X. So let me see if I can turn on my frame. So the tiles look a bit like this. Actually, what I can do is just use Alt D to work on a copy without the modifiers. Thank you for subscribing, Jackix 168. Thank you. I can't keep up with your speed. You have to disable everything in the record. I'm not sure what you mean. Because I think my speed is enough. So can you teach me how yeah, I didn't really get what you meant there. So we want to be working here. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you, Jan, for subscribing. Thank you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I think it's Japanese or Chinese. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that, but thank you. Someone said I should move the chat. Let me just have it maybe here because I rarely use that space. Anyway, let's get back. To be fair, this is not for beginners, or so it's much better off to watch it easier, to watch an easier tutorial. Yeah, this is not really a beginner's tutorial, so if you're having difficulties with the steps, it's better you first watch kind of a beginner tutorial. It'd be much easier for you to follow along. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you, Daniel Arellano and Tanel. Thank you. Did I miss anyone else? Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it's Russian. I really appreciate that. Anyway, let's continue here. So what I can do is just just delete this part and use a mirror modifier. Thank you. Who was that? Thank you, Jose Marquez, for subscribing as well. So as I'm working on this, you can see this other side is updating because I'm using that as an instance of the other objects. So thank you, Ban, for subscribing. And what I can do is start adding in details. I'm going to add a loop here. Grab this, extrude that along its normals, something like that. You can see we're having an issue here with the extrusion or with the solidify. So I'm going to use Shift-N to recalculate that, to recalculate the normal so that I don't have that. Another issue we are having is that these faces here are also getting in the way. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you, John Ruthik. I'm missing some of the subscribers, but yeah, I'm sorry if I missed your name. Anyway, so I'm going to go here and delete the faces at the top here. Delete the faces at the top here, and we can have something like this. I also don't need this here. So if you're just getting here, we're just creating this scene here, and we're working on the roof. So this is going to be our roof detail, and I'm just going to bring this. I think I can use Shift-N to insert this on the inside. Flip the normals on the inside, and I can push this out. Use automatic shade, auto smooth, and I'm going to move the mirror above the solidify so that we have something like this. And we are missing one modifier here, so for this array, so I'm just going to add a mirror modifier, and it should be above all the rest of the things. And I can see if and I think we also need a solidify modifier. Now that should point to down here. If I turn off wireframe, I can just pull this down a bit. I don't want this sharp edge, so I'm going to go to object data, normals, and increase the auto smooth angle at something like 45, so we get something like that. Now I want these. Actually, I need to apply the mirror for this. Yeah, I need to apply the mirror for this, but because this is an instance of this, I can't really do that. So what I need to do is make sure that I go to object relationships, relations, and then make user object data, make it a single user so that I can apply the modifiers, because you can't apply modifiers if you have if you have instances. I can't keep up. Okay, to be English is not my native language. I use a translator. Oh, yeah, English is also not my first language, but I hope it's not too fast that you can't get anything. I want this to be, let me actually go to the materials just to see the difference here. Oh, okay, I need to apply, I need this to use the same data here. Ctrl L, object data. Wisdom Tooth, I'm from East Africa, that's in Uganda. I need to get rid of this mirror. You can see what we're having. You can see already it's starting to look as roof tiles. And I guess right now I can even just have it up here on the roof. Shift S, cursor selected. Thank you for subscribing, Oliver Quinn. Thank you. Hello, Heatwater, how are you doing? So this here, we are going to rotate 90 degrees and rotate 90 degrees again here. So you can see how you can create the roof Let me fix a few things here. Tip for someone starting in Blender. Yeah, just watch a bunch of tutorials. You will get there. Because I also started by watching tutorials. Let me use an array here just so. Yeah, so I want HPs to be connected like that. So I can come back here and change the array just a bit. I think I also need to rotate this just like that, and come here, reduce this array so that each of these tiles is on top of each other, just a bit. Same here. Now the next thing is I want this to conform to this, because you can see this is a bit angled, and let me actually exaggerate that angle so that you can see what I mean. Maybe even just pull this out a bit like that. So I want this to conform to that. So what I'm going to do is first clear the rotation of this. I rotate it 90 degrees like that. Do you have ever made any 2D animations? No, I don't do 2D animations. I'm 3D all the way. Try create a donut. Yeah, there's quite a lot of donut tutorials. I don't think we need more donut tutorials. So I'm just going to so what I want to do is create. Have you guys ever used the, what is it called? We're going to be using the surface deformer to have this conform be placed onto this roof. And the way this works is that you need a mesh. I'm going to give this a few subdivision. Let me I'll also apply the scale. So you just need, you can have as many subdivisions as you want. And I'm going to turn on wireframe so that you can see what we are doing. So viewport wire. And what I want to do is first bring this closer to this. I'll just go after all the arrays. I can maybe before the solidify, I can add a surface deformer. A surface deformer, not a tish. A surface deformer. Bring it up. Select the object and then bind. Now what this will enable us to do is now I can edit this mesh and move other pieces that are connected to it. So I can just do something like that, and yeah. Then what I can do is get this mesh parented to the roof, Control P, and I can just get the roof and bring it to this mesh like this. Now remember, what we want is to have this roof conform to the shape of this. What I can do is now select this mesh and then give it a shrink wrap modifier, and then select this object as the shrink wrap, and you see what I mean. So this is becoming kind of, yeah, conformed, I think. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah. So I'm just going to first get this. We can also just use, there are a few options, wrap method that you can use. That's cool. Thank you. Can you make some tutorial on motion graphics? I think I've done a few motion graphics tutorials, but I can do more. Is flipped if that was real water would pass through. Not sure what you mean there. But so let's change this to we need to change this to projection. That way we can move this closer. Okay, you know what? I think the nearest point was enough. And you can use this. Like so. And I can even go into the edit mode of this. Just rotate pieces around. Just to follow the same shape. And if you select the mesh, you can offset the position like that. Just want to bring this up a bit. And I think this is just this is a lot of trouble for us for a simple thing that we want to do. So we don't even need this. So what I'm going to do is just let's get rid of this and just confirm this directly without using a shrink wrap modifier or anything. So I'm just going to, what did I delete? Just get rid of this. Just rearrange other pieces to match as we want them. So rotate this, we scale it, and I can reduce. I don't need this subsurface or whatever. I can reduce the array count here. Use Alt D to rotate this around here, and you can see we're basically getting the same results, but this is much faster than what we tried. Okay, so just match the angle. I think I need to extend this up to, and I can also just pull it forward just a bit like that so that it extends. You know, I want to, let me also move my camera just up a bit, or maybe just push the roof a bit down so that it's not too high, because I want to show off the roof as we have spent some time working on it. So just think that's still too up, or maybe we can just move the camera up. I was talking about the shingles being flipped, but I fixed them before reading the message. I don't worry about it. Oh, these are, I was trying to recall the name of how these roof tiles are called. Yeah, I guess some are called shingles, some are not really shingles. I guess it depends on the region you live in. There are different types. Shingles are made from, is it plastics? It's a kind of a fiber setup. I don't know how it's called, but the ones, these I think are made from clay, so I don't think they are shingles. I don't know. I'm not very good at construction materials and stuff. Anyway, so this is where we are. Now let's create this part here. So that should be very easy. I can just go to edit mode, select this edge loop here, Shift D, P to separate it. I can just grab it. You can see now it's a single line, and it follows the path or the curve of our object. And I can hit E, extrude it to about there, and then extrude it down. Actually, I don't need to extrude it down. I can just use a solidify modifier. This is going to give us a lot of freedom to add in these other parts here. So now that we have this, I actually want this to extend a bit like that. Let me turn on the ambient occlusion and just make it a bit amplified, maybe something like 2, so that we can see these details a bit better. What device do you use for this stuff? You mean my PC setup? It's this is it. It's an i5, 8GB of RAM, and a 1060 for the graphics card. So this is where we are. I think I can even use a bevel. Let me first isolate this for a second, and just look at this. Add a bevel. Let's reduce this auto smooth, and then add in normals like that. I want to have a few subdivisions, so I can select this edge and then this edge. Before I do that, I think we need to create these, I don't know how they are called. So I'm just going to duplicate that and subdivide this quite a few times. So let's subdivide this 10 times. Then I can get rid of these edges. So we remain with this. Let me first select this, Control I, then extrude this down so that we have something like that. And then I want to round off the corners here, but they are going to be a bit harder to select. Let's see. They're going to be hard to select. So I want to select just these edges here, these vertices. So I guess I can just select one by one. Hello, Kuma. Glad to see you here. How are you doing? So, do you guys have any plans for the weekend, or is still late for you? How long does it take you for rendering? Well, it depends on what I'm rendering and what render engine I'm using. So for this scene, I'm going to be using Eevee, which should be faster to render. But let me bevel this. I think I need to apply the scale and then Ctrl-Shift-B to round off the corners like that. Auto smooth like that. Now I can grab these, push them back up. You can see how that is coming out here. Then I wanted to add in a few extra edge loops here, so I'm just going to select this and subdivide this. I just need, yeah, like that. Can select these edge loops and hit, is it Y? No, it's V to separate them like that. And because we have a bevel, we can easily, yeah, have that detail like that. Cycles changed the whole game for me. So you mean it's much faster? So how long does it take you to render a complex scene, maybe an interior scene? Is it 10 times faster? Do you use denoising, and what settings do you use? I use denoising. I guess I don't. I just use the default settings. I don't really change them a lot. I appreciate that you're replying to all the comments. Yeah, I like to have this to be. I like this to be interactive, so that I can talk to you guys. I think it's much fun like that. Okay, so let's. We have this detail here. We have created that, and we also have this roof here, which we can add. So I'm going to add a cube here. Let's see, is it somewhere here? Maybe rotated a bit like that. Maybe extruded. And I think I can just add a bevel to round off the corners a bit. It makes them look a bit cooler. Go to shading, harden normals, auto smooth. I have some quick shortcuts set up. I have this auto smooth setup, and the way you can set up quick shortcuts, I can say I want to. Let me see what I can do here. So if you want to have this, because I'm hitting Q and accessing this menu, which is my quick favorites, and if you want to add any settings, say let's see attributes, what setting? Let's say face paint. Add to the quick shortcuts menu. You can just right click on it and then add to quick favorites. Then when I hit Q, you can see I have added that to the quick menus, but I want to remove it because I won't be using it, so I'll remove it like that. How are you, Chilis? I'm good. How are you? Hello, Rockstar Guna. I like you making stuff very much. Yeah. I just enjoy working in Blender. That's why you see me using it a lot. Cycles, 4,096 samples. Takes 1.5 hours regular cycles. 2 days for a single frame. Well, that's I don't think I have the patience to wait for something to render that long. That's why I usually don't like working in cycles. It takes too long. Because 2 days to render something, I think, would be too long for me to wait. I'm not that patient. So yeah, let's add a roof here. I'm just going to borrow this. It should be the same size. I'm just going to. I think they would look better if they are smaller. Realistically, they should be the same size, but I'm just going to go with the creative decision to make them smaller. Just have them here, and I'm just going to reduce the array. You're a legend, bro. I will reach your level one day. You will surpass me one day, I guess. If you just, yeah, you should be able to surpass me because I'm not really. How do I want this? because I'm working on a lot of things, and I'm usually not very consistent with Blender. I'm always in Python. So if you put in a little bit extra time, you should surpass me in no time. What's the difference between Cycles and Cycles? You mean Cycles and Cycles X? Yes, Cycles X is a more improved version of Cycles. So there was a major update. Certainly when you have lots of glass, transparency, volumetrics, and particles, that's how it is. Yeah, very true, very true. And that's why I try to avoid anything that is going to increase my render times. So I want this to be the roof for this small thing, for this small attic. And so I'm going to use a mirror modifier to kind of cut off this. So I'm just going to add a mirror object, and select this empty as a mirror object. And I can also turn on bisect, flip the bisect, and you can see what we're having. And actually I should rotate this object. Should I? Which is better? Let's see. If I rotate this 45 degrees, yeah, I get that kind of roof, which is exactly what we want to have. And I can also grab this piece, Shift D to duplicate it. And just to stay consistent, I'm just going to grab these, let them, reset the origin, and just move this up here. So we have that design added to this for consistency. I'm just going to grab this, maybe even scale it down a bit at fit our space. Just bring this up somewhere there, just like that. I think I need this door or window a bit lowered somewhere like that. That's so creative. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, the mirror modifier is quite amazing, and I think you can mirror this on the Y, and you'd have that. Now all you have to do is just move the and reposition this to have a complete roof like that. So I'm just going to duplicate this, rotate this 90 degrees. Actually, since we have this object, I can just simply use the same mirror settings. I use this as a mirror object, and you see what we have like that. I think I also need to bring this, bring the whole setup somewhere here. Yeah, maybe something like that. So that's where we at. Hello, Kidum. It's been a while since I last saw you. How are you doing? How do I download Cycles X? I think you just download the latest version of Blender. That's how you get it. Okay. Is it hard to learn Blender? I don't think it's hard to learn Blender. It's just how much time you want to spend learning. That's going to make it harder or easier for you to learn. Let me just grab this. And I think I can use an array before the mirror. I want to mirror this on the X, negative. This should be 0, and this should be -1. Okay, I'm not sure why this is working like that, but I can just simply extend this extrusion to be somewhere there. I just grab this piece, Shift D, grab this on the Y, and then grab this on the Y, and Shift D, and we have that. I think I've tried to link it, but yeah, I think YouTube disables that. You can't really link anything in the chat, but you can paste it in my Discord server. Let me send you a link or an invitation link if you are not at this in the Discord. You can paste it there. I'll try to check it out. Okay, so this is what we have. I think there's usually something added here to kind of stop water from going through here. I don't know if it's necessary to add it here, but I'm going to go to my asset library, again, which you can get from my, it's an add-on that I use a lot, and getting it is also helps support the channel. So you can get the asset library and all the add-ons I'm using here there from that link. So let's go to the asset library, and in my buildings I have windows. Actually, I don't want to use these windows. Let me go to my furniture pack or building pack and see if I have other windows. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Bhavesh Patel. I really appreciate that. Let me go to my city pack. You know what? Let's just make the windows directly because I think I have better windows. Let's not waste time creating things we already have. Let me just go to my link at different libraries. So let's see: vehicles, medieval, megascans, hard surfaces, building parts, building parts. I think it's in here. Yeah, I have a few windows here. So I have this, but I'm wondering which one should I use. Maybe does this fit? Yeah, I think we can use this. I'm going to add it to the scene, and it comes with a bunch of other things that I don't need. So you can see how the window looks. It comes with all the materials and everything, but I don't. Okay, maybe let's reserve the materials. Let me first remove all the other arrays. Rotate this 180 degrees. I mean, change this to local. Change the pivot point to local, and just get this to fit in this space. Get the window to fit in this space, and I like that it comes with this cornice. So I'm just going to go into edit mode. Just grab all this on the other side, and I just pull it here just to make this. I'm just editing it a bit to make it fit our scene better, and I think I can grab these pieces and just I'm thinking maybe I can change things a bit here. Maybe have this somewhere like that. And just duplicate this, Shift D on the Y. And I think I need to grab this, have it centered the same, because I want to have a window like that, which I think that looks okay. Just grab this, let's reposition them to be somewhere here. It's always nice to just reuse assets that you have used already, you have created already, and just reset the origin. Yeah, something like that. And I think I like this material here, so I'm just going. I will use it later, but right now, can you join the Discord? Oh, you meaning you're asking someone else? Okay, download BuggerPy add-on. It has a procedure window. Ah, okay. I could download that, but I have Windows, a bunch of Windows already here. Guys, I'm on the Discord channel. Can anyone help me find okay, so if you want to download Blender 3, just go to blender.org. Go to downloads. I think you then scroll down, download experimental, and you see all the daily builds. So you can see Blender 3 is here. I just download that. Great all Blender guys out there around the world. German here. Where are you from? Hey, hello crypto. I'm from Uganda. Yeah, so can you guys give me kind of a tour of where you're from? I'm from Uganda. What about you guys? Like crypto here is asking, where are you guys from? Okay, so I'm going to add another building here, like what we are seeing here. So let's just add a cube. Actually, we can just start with just go to edit mode, select this face, because it has the right orientation. I want this building to start around here. I'm from Dubai. Nice, nice, nice. I posted the direct link to Discord. It's a branch. Oh, nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are very, very helpful. I guess the entire Blender community is like that. It's the spirit of the Blender community. And so I want to have another building here, but I want it to be a bit styled here. I think we can start with that, extend this. But then this kind of hides. Let me see if we, yeah, it's okay because we can see this. Maybe let me pull back the camera a bit. So I'm just going to come here. Yeah, like that, like so. So one thing I want to do is I have a few things in my building parts. Let's go to the ceiling. I have these kind of cornices. I think that's what they are called. I can use them, but making them is very easy. I think I have a tutorial on how to make them. So I'm not going to show other steps on how to make them, but just have them here. I'm going to add this to the scene. I like this. So you see how this piece looks, just a simple mesh. And I can scale this on the Z. Let me first apply the rotation. Apply the rotation of this. I'm from France. I'm from India. You're gonna really, that's unexpected. Yeah. That's the beauty of the internet. So you know where Uganda is? Crypto. Because most it's a very small country. Not a lot of people know about it. So I'm surprised that you know about it. That's the beauty of the internet. You can get to talk to people from countries that you never expected. So I want this design here to go all the way to this. So what I can do, since I can just follow the rotation of this, go to top mode like that. Just do something like that, and I maybe even add a bevel to this. Right now, you see that the bevel is kind of, yeah, it's not working, but because whenever you have edges or vertices too close to each other, they kind of get in the way of the bevel. So the bevel never really expands a lot. I'm from Italy. You're Italian, you mean? Andrea from Tokyo. So you're from Tokyo, but you are Italian. Nice. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Fox99ist. Hello, Dinesh. Hello, Zigzag. How are you doing? Okay, so as I was saying, the bevel usually, when you have too many vertices or you have any vertex too close to each other, they get in the way of the bevel. So I'm just going to remove some of these and turn them into an end gun, and you see how the bevel changes. So let's do this on the other side as well. Do get these faces. This piece and this piece to be a single face like that, and that should improve our bevel. I think we still have a few vertices that are too close to each other. I think I'm just going to use merge by distance. That seems didn't solve anything. Let me apply the scale. What do we have here? So whenever you see this happening, when you try to change the offset, Blender best your Kurdistan. So where? So who is a Kurdistan? Which country would that be? Trying to find the edge that is too close. So I'm just going to try merge again and increase the bevel distance. You can see when I increase the bevel distance, that means that I'm reducing the distance between different edges. That's why you see the bevel is now working. So let me just have it something like that. Oh, yeah, let's do something like that. And just bring the bevel down now. Like that. Auto smooth. And then harden normals to round off the edges. Yeah, that's much better. And we have reduced on the polygon count. Or we can even just get this side so that we reduce on the triangles we have. And we have that, which I think looks much better. So now, since we have this, what we can do, who teaches Blender the best according to you? Well, everyone has a different teaching style, and different topics kind of require different type of teaching. So I wouldn't know myself. But you must know, as I actually watch less step-by-step tutorials. I mostly watch time lapses, and time lapses don't really have a teaching style. They're just time lapses. So I guess I'm not the best person to ask that question. Yeah, so this is what we have, and now let's again, like you see, I'm trying to make this a bit different from the reference image, because I don't like copying things one by one, copying them directly as they are. That's why you see that we're going to make this a bit different. So maybe bring this up a bit, like so. I want to show off these details, so I think I'm going to bring the camera around here. Yeah, one thing we can do, if we want to have some white water, that shows there is some color. Is it the case? I'm actually not sure if. So what I want to do is to make sure that there is a water line here, maybe on the water. So what I can do is Blender Guru for 3D Donuts. Yeah, he's very good. We can use an input ambient occlusion, and Iraqi Kurdistan or Southern Kurdistan refers to a Kurdish populated part of northern Iraq. It is considered one of the 4 parts of Kurdistan, which also includes parts of southern Turkey. You always learn something, man, on the internet. Kurdistan, I had never heard of that. Interesting. Nice. That's the beauty of the internet. So what I want to do is kind of create a water line. I'm not sure if that would be the case. Let's try that. And I think I can increase the distance here. Add a convert math node here. We can either use a power to make the effect more amplified, and maybe even use, let's try to round off. It makes things a bit noisy, but let's try a convert color ramp and just see if we can. Let me try a linear or constant. Okay, it doesn't really give me the effect I wanted. But what we can do is just add a color, mix RGB, and I want color 1 to be the color we already had. Let's feed this into the base color, and I can use now this factor to affect the color of the water. I recreated a sci-fi tunnel in Blender in 2 days. Check it out in my channel. Okay. Let's see. I still didn't finish the donut tutorial. Yeah. Guys, I download the 3.0. How do I turn cycles X, or is automatically? So if you have downloaded the version that has cycles X, then you are using cycles X automatically. So I want to make the water a bit greenish on the near to the buildings. So it make it appear a bit deeper, or is it the other way around? Let me see. I think it should be the other way around. So maybe multiply this by a negative value so that we can invert yeah, if you download the version with Blender Cycles X, then you are using Cycles X by default. There is no option to switch. Okay, this is not what I wanted. I think it, God, I deleted the water. So you can see we kind of get that deep look. I think the greenish water should be in the middle. That kind of makes it, is it in the middle or in the, I don't know. Let's just go with that. So let's create this, an interest somewhere here. So I can use booleans for this. I think that would be much easier. So let's go to the side a bit around here. Add a plane, rotate it 90 degrees, go to edit mode and just move some of the pieces like that. And we want to run off the top, so I'm just going to select this, Shift B, Control Shift B, and just round off the top. Just give it a few resolution. Let me move my my shortcuts to this side here so that you can see them much easier. Yeah, so the shortcuts are here. Maybe let me give them a yellow color so that they stand out a bit. And okay, now they don't seem to work now. Let me first edit. Let me see shortcuts. Let me first turn this add-on off and on and see if that would help, because it doesn't seem to work anymore. Anyway, let me just explain the steps. Okay, so we're creating this door here, and the first thing we're going to need is to insert this, or just extrude this out like that. And then let me first recalculate the normals, Shift N, and just grab this with Alt E to extrude along the normals. I'm wondering which is better, and then I can just let this face, so we have this. Then I can just bridge the polygons like that. I can go in here. I don't need this loop, so we have something like that. I can turn on auto smooth and then give this a bevel at round off the corners a bit. Let me scale this, reduce this like that, auto smooth, and then harden normals to have something like that. Then we can make this a bit detailed. I can just grab this, bevel this. I'll have a lot of resolution there. You can use your middle mouse wheel to reduce or increase it. Maybe the shortcut offset is off screen. You think so? Let me see. Actually, I need to, let me see, set this to 0 and right. It doesn't seem to be. I just had to it wasn't updating, I think. Let me want to move this. Yeah, make this here as well. Okay, it's working now, so can bevel this. I have enough loops now. I can go to the bevel settings and just change the profile to custom, and there are a few settings here. We can use the cornice, but that has a lot of detail. Let's just draw one ourselves. So I can add a loop here, push that back. Let me set this to be vector, and then this, sorry, linear. Add another, maybe set this to be, yeah, that's going to be our profile like that. I can just reduce the bevel just a bit. Guys, should I use CUDA or optics? Well, you can try whatever works best for you. Sometimes The settings other people use may not be the best settings for you. So you just have to experiment yourself. So I'm going to grab this, Shift D, move this to the top, scale this on the X, just flatten this side and flatten this side. And this piece is going to be this piece. Actually, I have a lot of profiles already made, so why create them from scratch? Let me first fix a mirror modifier here. Should be above the bevel, like so. Down on clipping, and just make sure that this is like so. Yeah, you can use optics. Optics is for RTX card, otherwise it will use CUDA automatically. No, I think they changed things a bit because I'm also using my card is not an RTX, and when I change to optics, it seems to work. It seems to work. It doesn't throw off any warnings. You can see it works even without. Yeah, and the water here looks far better in cycles. Anyway, let's go back. I think yeah, optics works even without RTX. I think they made an update to make it like so. Okay, so let's go in here. I want to use my own profiles that I created previously. I think I could, let me see, which one would work better? Yeah, this one might be much better, or this one. So I'm going to go here, add that in. Now I need this to be mirrored the other way around, so I need to get rid of this vertex. And I think I would also need this to get rid of that, and this has to be around here, and I can extrude this on the X, extrude this on the Z like that, and you can see what I have. Now this has a lot of resolution, so I'm just going to go in and start. Let me see if the decimate modifier would work better here. So I'm just going to add the decimate modifier to reduce. Yeah, it works, but it uses the CUDA cores of your card instead of using the new ones. So it doesn't crash, but it uses no performance boost, unlike if you have an RTX card. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that because it doesn't throw any errors, maybe it worked. Yeah, anyway, you always learn something new, so it doesn't seem to work. Yeah, I never really, I expected to see performance improvements when I use optics instead of the other type. I never really saw any performance difference, so I guess you're right. Just going to mirror this on the Z, I think. Yeah, because I want this to be there. I think it needs to be a bit smaller, like this, so we can just add it in like that. Yeah, I did make the water shader, and it isn't that difficult to make. So let's extrude this. It's just a noise shader fed into the normal map. Let me grab this, push it back, and now we just have to bridge this and push it out. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Jose Benito. Thank you. Okay, we have this auto smooth is on, and now I can just join this to this, and we have that. And we don't need any first. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. So we have this door. There's also a piece at the front here, but it depends on. I'm not sure if I want to add that or not. Let me just. It should be very simple. I can just add a loop here. You hate the denoiser? Well, the denoiser works best if you have a lot of samples. If your renders don't look as good as you expect them after using the denoiser, try increasing the samples. If the samples are not enough, yeah, the render would not look as good. Up the samples to four. That's a lot of samples, and most people who want to use the denoiser are usually trying to use it because they don't have a lot of CPU power. So if you're increasing that the samples to that many, yeah, maybe you didn't need the denoiser in the first place. I use the denoiser in the compositor. Is it any good? I haven't tested it. Just have this under here. $400. My PC is gonna die. Yeah, for a lot of users, for a lot of people, 400 is quite excessive for their PC. If I rotate. Okay, let me apply rotation because this is getting annoying. Okay, let me go here just to align this, and I think this door has to be a little bit smaller, maybe, and be around here. So we have something like that. Then we need a boolean to cut out our piece here. So I'm just going to select this edge loop, Shift D, P to separate it, and just fill it with F, and then extrude along the normals like that. Maybe extrude it a little bit further in, and let me recalculate normals. Then we can. I don't need the boolean. I don't need the bevel. I can go to the object that change this to wireframe, so that is much easier to see. 3090 is overpriced. But is it any good? Is it overpriced because it's not that good, or get an NVIDIA RTX 3090? Problem solved. Well, the problem is not that his PC is a potato. And the problem is usually that you don't really have enough cash on you to buy a graphics card that would handle the amount of samples you want to throw at it. Okay, we have created that. And I think I need to have this also somewhere here. So I'm just going to, I think I can just go into edit mode. I also need to apply the mirror first. Shift D and align this. And then just grab this, Alt D to duplicate it, and just also place it where this is, like so. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I can just move the camera a bit in, or change this to a 30mm, so that yeah, somewhere like that. I share a pic in Discord server. Let me actually check out what you guys are posting there. What you have posted there. Okay, let's go back. all graphics cards are overpriced right now because of the market. Yeah, there's not a large supply of graphics cards, so that kind of makes it a bit difficult to get your hands on one. Add another window here. This time I just need this one here. Shift D, scale it down, and move it. Want it to be aligned with this. You just have to fix it in there, like so. Now we have a door. We have a window. What we lack for the window is, let's go to the windows, is the frames for the window, but I think I have those already made. I have this piece here, which I think fits well for this scene, so I'm just going to add it in. Thanks for subscribing. This comes with a bunch of other things. Thank you, Aquil Ali Jabri, for subscribing. I'm not sure about your sense of humor, Ali Jabri, but I was going to say, I was going to make an algebra joke because your name really sounds like algebra. Anyway, okay, I need to get rid of the mirror, this mirror, and just scale this down. So you can see I already have a window. Don't need the bevel. I don't need the mirror. Oh, don't need that mirror. So I just want this to be aligned with this, and maybe centered. Cursor selected, selection to cursor, scale down, drag up. I just want it to fit, and yeah, it fits perfectly. Okay, then I can go into edit mode because I want it to be as long as this window, like so. Now the glass itself is looks amazing, but it's not going to give us the look that we are going for. So what I'm going to do is select this this window, go to object mode, and I have a non-refractive glass here, which I'm going to switch out with a different material. Yes, call this translucent. Actually, I don't actually need to create a new material because remember we imported this material. It also has a glass material. I'll call this translucent, like that, and I just use it for that. Translucent. Yeah, you can see it's much dirtier. It's actually non-translucent. This make it a bit more darker, and shader, add a translucent shader, blend the two, and just use this glass in cycles and Eevee look so differently, sadly. Yeah, because Eevee uses is it screen space refractions to calculate glass, while cycles uses a different uses ray tracing. But which one looks better for you? Is it cycles or is it Eevee? Because I would be surprised if you said Eevee. You know, let me just make this a bit. Actually, can be any color. It should be clear glass. And I want to have some lighting in this, and I think I can add an area light here. Since this is a translucent material, let's scroll down. Yeah, okay, it has no. Let's add an area light. Just rotate this 90. Let's just first align it with the window. Rotate this on the Y 90 degrees. Yes, something like that. Drag it back. Okay, let's have the camera around here. You can see. Let me turn on contact shadows. Let me see if I have this as a point light. I remember this is a night scene, so yeah, lights are going to make things look much better, much cooler. I'm going to duplicate this, Shift D, and have it down here. In there. Okay, I think I need to change my camera again. Let's try 45 and then pull it back so we see more of the scene. And because I want to see this roof, I think I can just... Yo, thank you for subscribing, Alexander Dion Christie. Yeah, I'm not going to bite my tongue over pronouncing your name, man. I'm sorry. It's just too hard. Yeah, so I'm just extending this building. I'm making it a bit shorter or less long so that I can see parts of this. And I like the light here. Maybe make the window a bit larger. So I'm just going to select these pieces. Actually, I need to select these. Make it larger like that. And we have our window. I wish I could do stuff like you without watching a tutorial. Well, you get there. You get there. Everyone starts somewhere, and I also started by looking at tutorials. I need this to have contact shadows, and it does. Let's try. Let's try. Okay. Yeah, we need another window. What I'm going to actually do is just separate this into its own objects, origin to geometry. Oh, thank you for subscribing. That was Perry Conio. God. Conio? Yeah. A long time ago, I found a render with the default tile size using my GPU. Takes longer if I pick a bigger file size type. Yeah, it depends on what is it what render engine you're using, or if you're using a GPU versus a CPU. Let's go to our modifiers here, and I think we can select collection for the boolean. So I'm just going to first convert this to select all the booleans we're going to use. So this, and this. Hit P, hit M, new collection. I'll call this booleans or bools. Now we can disable them for a second, or just have them there. They shouldn't be renderable. And what we're going to do is select this mesh and select the bools collection, and that should make it easier for us to cut out pieces. And now let me first go back to the reference image. Now I can easily just copy this. Make sure I'm not copying just copy the boolean, select the boolean, the window, and the frame. Let me deselect everything else here. And now look at this magic. Because this is the boolean is part of our modifiers, we're using the collection as I can duplicate this and this boolean should add a cutaway. Oh god, no, not like that. Make sure I'm using global. And you can see we are also, yeah, our window is already set up to cut a boolean like that. Let me duplicate this again on the X, move that like that, and now we have two windows. Oh, this has to be pushed in on the y-axis. Grab y. I don't seem to match. Just grab local. Push it there. Do you run the noise? I don't usually do run the noises because I'm mostly working in Eevee. Go to the, you're asking Kuba to go to the render tab and scroll down to 256. Is it better to check the noise box or use the compositor? Well, I rarely use denoising because I'm not usually working in cycles because cycles is a bit heavy. Okay, so this is what we have. Maybe let's do some texturing, but before we do that, let me grab a vertex here. Let me add an edge loop here because there is that detail there. Just grab this, extrude or bevel like that, and I think this should be on the same Z level like that. Just push it down, hit E, extrude along normals. Okay, it doesn't seem like the bevel is working on this. Actually, I think I just need to, let me first reset the origin. I think I just need to push this so that it cuts into it like that. And I can also add another extrusion here just for extra detail. Again, we have to push this edge loop or this bevel so that it can cut it out like that. So let's get into the texturing to make things a bit funner, more fun. Hey, how do you get different objects? The way you do that, you just go to overlays, or you just make sure you are in workbench or view shading. You just have to turn on random. So the default is single like that. So if you go to random, it just makes every color random. Okay. I'm trying to look through your messages, but I think I've read most of them. Okay, so this is where we are. Let's create some materials. The way we're going to do this, let me first isolate this wall. I'll go to my texture folder add-on, which helps me create, say, platinum. Okay, so I'm going to use my texture folder add-on, which is an add-on you can download from my Blender Market page. It also helps me support the channel, and let's see how it works. So let's start with the brick material here. I'm just going to load in my PBR materials. So I think I have some brick materials here, and since they are PBR, I have this brick material. I have two here. I have a few brick materials, but let's try this. With one single click, I can turn this into a PBR setup. It has already set it up for us, but I think because we don't have UV maps set up for this, that's why you see it's not working. Yeah, shameless plug. yeah. I mean, you have to pay some bills, otherwise. You can already, from Touch, you can already hear my power meter already beeping, so I need to pay that bill. So Yeah, let's turn to object mapping and fix the UV map. I can see that gives us this. It's a bit fainted looking. I don't know. So let's try a different. Let's try this. Create PBR. Let's give it a moment to compile the shaders. Again, it's using UV map. So let's change this to object, and it should set up. So this is what we get with the PBR material, which doesn't look too bad. Maybe the first one was better. Which one was it? This brick material was better. Actually, this is a different material. I'm just going to go with this. Just scale it down a bit, which is hey, thank you for subscribing, Yoxygen. Thank you. That's a cool name. Okay, let's see. Now, I want to also add in this other material. It's a plaster material. And I think we already have something like that. So this here, this wall here, has a nice plaster material. So let me call this plaster. Has a nice plaster material. So we can use it and just create a mask that will blend the two. So for that, let's actually first create. I just have to go into this, copy the entire shader, Ctrl C, and then paste it into this shader. So we have this and we have the brick. I think I'm going to make this a bit white, more white, less saturated like that, so that it's easier to tell the difference. Now we can blend the two using a mix node, and now all we need is a mask to break up the two materials, to blend the two materials. So for that, I'm just going to use my texture folder add-on. I'll go to my grunge map. Another way to, I'm not very good at hyping up my own products, but let me see, I need a way to hype them up more. Maybe texture folders add-on. Go to, I'm going to import this grunge map in here. So import as a texture. So just bring it up here. So this is our mask. Again, it needs to use object mapping. So let me add texture coordinate mapping, change this to object mapping like that, and also change this to box. It's repeating too much, so I'm going to scale it up just somewhat like that. Now this should be our mask for this. Let's give this mode a moment. You can see how it's breaking up, how it's mixing this with the other. The other thing we can do is add a rampa to just add more contrast. Well, tutorials are good, but watching live stream is better. At least, yeah, I think live streams are much better. You can see, if I don't know the answer, you can ask questions directly and I can provide the answer. If I don't know the answer, someone in the audience might know the answer. So yeah, I love live streams. I think I'll be making more live streams. So you can see we have blended the two. The problem is if it doesn't really do displacement maps very well, so that's why you see it's kind of struggling a bit. Let me try increasing the normal map here. normal. Okay, so that seems to do a good job. Oh, forget. Thank you, Procoro, for subscribing. You can see all the progress without cuts, the difficult and problem resolution, and you can always interact. Yeah. Ask and answer questions. Yeah. If I have any difficulties, there is no way for me to kind of hide them behind a cut. I would have to sweat through them and find a solution with you guys. And it has happened before. No shame in that. To be fair, there is no displacement until you turn it on, though. It's just bump. It's just bump normal. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess what I was saying, what I was trying to say maybe is that Blender doesn't have a good way to handle displacement without adding extra resolution to your geometry, which kind of makes it harder to render. This is Eevee. Yeah, this is Eevee. Yeah, if I tried to do this in cycles, there's no way my computer would handle this. I think I can. Let's see. Maybe we can. Let me switch out a different mask here. Hi AR Albino Bear, how are you doing? So let's switch. Let me select this image and use my switch texture to switch this texture mask out a bit to see. Let me see if I switch this with this switch. I'm trying to get a better mask. Switch. Yeah, maybe this is better. Maybe I can even scale this up. Yeah, something like that. So some areas have that, some don't. And I think, let me see. I'm trying to create a mask for the displacement. Let me see if I grab this mask and feed it into the displacement, if that does anything. Just post pictures. Can you join our Discord? I'll show you my trash renders. Okay, so this is, if I feed this into the displacement, it kind of replaces the entire normal map we had before. So I will not. What I can do is get my normal map here, add another vector bump map, connect these to the normal, and and actually this has to be connected to the height, and this normal has to be connected to the normal, and then grab this finally to have it. Just reduce the strength. Yeah, I think we can go with this. Maybe reduce on the contrast of this just a bit. Scale this. I think I need a better image for the displacement. So let me go to a different folder. Let me go to my walls. And see if I can get something better. Let's try this. So I'm just going to switch. This actually might be better. Let's just play with the contrast here. definitely much better, I think. Let's scale this down, maybe move this. Yeah, I'm going with that. I'm not sure about you, but I think this looks much better than what we had before. So now let's see what else can we do. Okay, let's. This is a concrete, so I think I can just use the concrete material that we have there. Control link, materials, select this, Control R, Control L, link materials. Same with these pieces, should have the same concrete material here, concrete material. The roof can also have a concrete material, but we need to change it a bit. So these pieces should use the same. I'll just call this roof, and we need to give this a color. We need to give the roof a different color. Yep, like that. And this here, this can use this material. And these doors should also, let me see if this used the what material is this? Plaster material. If this used the plaster material, how would it look? I think it looks much better if it uses the plaster material. So let me first select this. Let me get my outliner, because I want to hide these booleans for a second. This is too realistic. Thank you, man. Thank you. Control L, materials. Maybe they should use the concrete material. I'm really torn between what material I should use here. I think the concrete material gives us a nice contrast. So let's maybe use that. Though this should be wood. Anyway. Let's set up some lighting, maybe. To start actually making things look realistic. I'm going to go to my HDRI, and I think it's in my skies. Grab a night. I use that as the HDRI. I can go to the world settings and just turn down the light, turn on screen space reflections, and maybe bloom. Just rotate this, and that's what we have so far. And I'm going to add an area light up here, kind of simulate nighttime lighting. So let me just give this 100, maybe 1,000. Give it a bluish tone. Make it really big A4. And I can make this less powerful by just doing something like that. Now I think, let me select this. Okay, this light here is too close. Is should be pushed in further like that. And maybe you can even set it as an area light and just have it rotated. Rotate something like. Hey, it also seems too powerful for me, so let's try 10. I'll have this chimney, which I can use my asset library in the building parts or in the, let me see, ceiling. Have something that I could use for this. I think it's under pipes. Yeah, let's just use this pipe as an extra detail. Add it in there. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm great. Rohit Style Tips. How are you doing? We're going to have something like that, and can use an array, or I can just duplicate this, rotate 180 degrees, just have this connected, and can have a duplicate of this, scale it down. Just make sure I'm using individual origins, global. Rotate X 90 degrees. So I am a beginner in Blender animation. Please give tips. In animation, I guess the best you could do is just find an animation tutorial. It would be much better because I don't think I have any good tips for animation right now. Have that. So you made all the assets of this add-on. Provide you. So the asset library doesn't come with the models in this asset in this add-on. But if you're a patron, you can request for the assets, and I'll send them to you for free. Okay, let's see. What else can I add in here? Oh, I think I need another light. Here. Maybe set this to something like let's duplicate this. me see. Something like that. Now we have a bunch of buildings that we already created. Let me see if I go to collections. Let me see if I can add this somewhere and make it look good. I think this side can use a brick material. Yo, thank you for subscribing. The Pixel Studio. How can I get your asset library? Is it in Blender or download it? You can get it from the Blender Market. This is just the link to this page. It comes with, you see all the add-ons I have created there. Let's add, I think, let's add this here. Let's go and rotate it 180 degrees. Yeah, I think actually this looks good. And that's the asset library for you. It just helps you reuse assets you have created already. And I think, and I can go to, I have doors, I think. I have some in the building parts collection, but in the city pack, I should have so I've not been very good at categorizing my assets very well. So let's see. There's a city pack, and I'm in the city pack, but let me load in a different library here. Let me go to my libraries. Medieval, kit bash, third surfaces, plants, furniture, city park, assets, building. Is it this? No. Let me look for a different library because I have a library with a lot of doors. I think it's in my deco. Categorized. Oh, and I have this thing here that we created in the Venice live stream, so I can reuse it here. Oh, it's not exactly what I thought it was. The building park, building parts. Now it's all about set designing, just getting some assets that we have already used, I have already created, and just using them in different areas. Now there's also this. So I don't know, maybe I should add it somewhere here. Where is this? It's here. Yes. Add a mirror. Just make it. It has that nice concrete material, so let me borrow that for a second. And what I can do here is I don't even need to use booleans. I can just model the details I want in directly. So I'm just going to push this, maybe first extrude this up, add a loop somewhere here. Just push this in a bit like that. Can also add a loop here. Just extrude this. Can separate this for a second. Separate this part. And just add in extra edge loops for detail. Like that. And we can use other brick material. So if I go to my materials here, I think I can get some nice brick materials. Let's just use this and see. This is too red, but we have this. That's some nice brick material. This can use our concrete material. And we can just select, go to this, select this edge loop here, Shift D, hit F. You have something like that. Extrude out. Am I extruding out? Extrude along its normals. What am I doing? It seems if I separate this as its own object. Make sure I delete any faces here. Have to go again. Good night. I'm glad. Thank you for being around, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So what I want to is first, let me see, why was this not working in the first place? Let me first isolate this for a second because I'm not sure what's going on here. So there is, okay, this, let's get rid of this edge loop. Okay, I can insert this, delete face, then extrude in or out. So if I unhide everything, just push it outside and just give this a concrete material like we have, then we have that kind of European style thing going on. Now I can also select this wall here. Because it's going to need a bulk of material, so I'm going to give it a concrete material as well. Good afternoon, Top Channel. How all? Yeah, everything is great, Kapil. How are you doing? Hello, Pastel Studio. Are we in Venice again? Yeah, I just saw this image and I thought I could. It's not exactly the Venice style, but yeah, I thought I could do this again. Think we also need another door here. I'm not sure why I can't find my doors. Windows. I want doors. And go to collections. Doors. Okay, these are too large. And I think we can use this door here. It's a very large door. And it's coming in with a lot of other things that I don't need. Because they're sharing, I think, a modifier or something. So let me first get rid of that. I think I can just add a loop here, add a loop there, and another loop there, and I can call this addor extrude in, and the inside can have a concrete material like so. Now I think this can work as a door. It's a window, but it should work as a door, no problem. Comes with a few modifiers that I don't need. Just grab this up, scale it. Yeah, I think it fits very nicely. I think the concrete should be the white concrete we had. And maybe even make it more white. Things are becoming a bit heavy here. Grab this material, make it a bit brighter. I think I can also just grab these because we want this to be a door, and that can pass as a door for now. And I think I can also add a light here. And we can reuse this door. Somewhere here. Yes. So this is what we have. I think I can just grab this piece and just extrude it down. Grab this, extrude it like that, and then just match this door in the middle. Just add a loop here. Maybe so this needs to be somewhat like that. I'm not sure why they would design it like this, but hey. As long as it works. It works. Yeah, maybe this wall here can have a concrete, but this can have brick. And same with this. This here can have brick. And maybe instead of we can just kind of bisect. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Nirokan. Thank you, thank you. I think what I can do is just bring these walls a bit forward. We have something like that. And I'm just going to scale this, bring it closer there. You know what? I think I'm going to use this. I've never really used it anywhere, so this gazebo. I can even have a duplicate of it very far back. Let's see how we can style this. I'm just going to, I have another thing here I saw that I could use. Yeah. Do you do any dioramas? I'm not sure what a diorama is. I have this kind of tower. I'm just looking for things to add in here to populate the scene. Because if you decide to create everything from scratch, it becomes a bit too much. Hello, Ahasas. How are you doing? Also have this. This is a piece we created in the Venice video. It's always nice to reuse things so that you don't have to create things from scratch. Okay, this is too tall, and we have a roof. We can add on and I can just simply use an empty to mirror as a mirror object for this. Turn on bisect and maybe rotate this. And I'm just going to make this a unique material so that I can change the roof color to something, maybe a bluish color like that, just for the sake of it. And I think I can also grab this here, just move it there. Just so we can have more windows. Can duplicate this again, add a different window and just have it placed somewhere there. I like the water, how the water came out. I think it came out really looking nice. Let's go to buildings and see what I have there. Oh, we can go to the city park. See what we can add in here. Let's see how this looks in cycles. Doesn't look that different. Maybe a bit richer, but yeah. Let's look for other buildings we can add in. Go to buildings park. Add buildings in a distance. In a distance there. So this should be very far in the distance. Well, this is an asset park that contains quite a lot of buildings. if you want to get them. They're on my CG Trader account. This is also another building. I like how it has a nice reflection there. I think we can go to the world. And add our principal volume. Just have an emission. Set to 0.0 something low. I'm just going to first set up my volumetrics a bit. Go to my volumetrics and just change the start frame to something like 10, maybe 20. Yeah, something like that. Let's see if I hide this piece. Actually, let's create a shoreline for the background and just add a city in the background there. So I'm just going to go to scout mode, turn on Dino, scout mode, and object, and the tools, turn on Dino, and just paint up a shoreline here. Like so, it doesn't have to be super complicated. And just this is where we're going to have all the buildings. Or actually, I don't need this anymore. And maybe I can pull this back a bit. Actually, I can just duplicate this. We want a city in the background there. Can even duplicate this. And give this a material that is a bit darker, so that it's not I think I can select the camera and change this to 200 and go to the volume settings and change the end volume to 200 as well. Actually, let's keep it at 100 because I'm not sure. Let's just keep it there. Then what can we do? Okay, so to make this street look like a street, to make this look like a city, I think what we need to do is add some lights in the back here. So I think I can just grab this building material, this building's material, and just slap it onto this, onto this object, so I can have this link the same materials. And just so that's glass. as daytime, and that's exactly what we need. Just need to doesn't seem to work as I expected. Just keep it to the original dark material. And what we can do is create a new collection. Call this city. Because we want a city in the background there. And I'm going to start adding buildings in there. So I can grab this, and have them in the city collection. Thank you, Daniel Martini, for subscribing. So let's add some small buildings for other cities. So I want this to be added to the city. Actually, this shouldn't be in the city collection because it's going to be our emitter. So have this nice building. You can go to this other hair particle system. It's flipped, recalculate normals. I need this to be, the normals to be on the inside or flipped, like that. And we can go to the render settings and change this to collection and select the city collection. And turn on advanced so that we can turn on rotation and change the orientation to be global Z, I think, yeah. And we can, yeah, we don't have to randomize anything. But you can randomize the scale. You can already see the skyline appearing in the background, but some of the buildings are appearing in the water, are coming in the water, which is not something we want. So I'm going to add a new vertex group. Go to weight paint and make sure this particle system uses that weight paint. Vertex groups uses this group, and now you can see our buildings, how they're being populated. Like that. If I scale this water a bit. Maybe push this. Actually, let's go back to weight paint and just make sure that we don't have any buildings in the water. Even these tall ones shouldn't be in the water. I think I can also add in another building, another type of building. Let's try adding in this. Because we're adding it to the city building, it should change the type of buildings we have here. Maybe let's make this taller. Let's also add another type, this here. Actually, let's add this. You can see you can go to the particle system again and just randomize this further. we want to have a few very tall buildings. So I'm going to add them to the main collection so that they are not instanced in the particle system. So maybe can bring in this. And I think I can go into my decos pack. Go to street. Add in some wires. What is this here? Set type. We can add in some wires here. As wires make things look super cool. And go back to the world. And just play with the density or with the emission strength. And I think I can go to add the volume and see. Let's see if I change this to start at 0, start at 1, start at 10, start at 15, like that. Come to the color management. I can use some high contrast. Maybe let's change this to something 0.5. And let's use a curve here. Add in some contrast. Maybe change this to a 15mm camera. Just maybe that's too 25. Hello, Srinivasan. How are you doing? Now with this, I can actually let's use a 45 like we had before. Just pull this back. Hey, glad to see you back. I think we have a few other buildings that we can add in here. Hey, thank you, Blinks. Our website is just it's an add-on. It's actually a standalone application that lets you match the camera settings of a reference image to whatever you're working with. Let me see, go to my collection and see if I can get something I can add in here. Let's see if how this gate works. Because I think it might add some level of interest. Yeah, something like that. I think our roof needs some more detail, so I'm just going to grab this piece. I think we need, let me see if this has contact shadows. This. All we need is a character somewhere here. So let me load in my my link libraries and go to my megascans. Have a character. Actually, let's just go to my megascans. Go to libraries, megascans. And we can have her in a bot. So I think I have let me see megascans. Let me link my vehicles back. Sort by name. Yeah, I want to link my vehicles, and I have a nice I have a bot here, so let's use that. Let me just pause her. Just want to have a light somewhere there, just to capture her silhouette a bit better. Maybe also let me make these buildings a bit taller, and I think we have a lot of particles, so and I have this thing we created in the Venice tutorial. So let's add that in as well. It's kind of looks like a dock. Duplicate it. Maybe even have one on this side. Hey, this one is smaller. See, and see, you start out with a reference, but then you end up with something completely different. Guess is your asset browser part of Blender? It's an add-on I made for myself, and you can also get it from this page. I'll just paste it here, and you can also check out all the other add-ons that I usually use. So this is the one here. It just lets you reuse any assets that you have had. I also have this kayak, so I guess I can add it in. All we're doing now is trying to populate our scene with a bunch of other things. Let me add this antenna up here, see how that looks. I think fits perfectly. See what else. Let me add in these pipes somewhere. We're trying to make this place look a bit cluttered. With a lot of stuff. So anything I can get, I will add. Also have this pipe. Guess I can add that in as well. Looking good. You have had a baby cry in the stream? Yeah, no way. Okay, let me add. I know what you mean. Oh, this. That. Let me increase the volume. You mean that? Ah, that's in the music. I was getting surprised. Okay, yes. R. Let me add an area light here. I swear there's a little baby. Have you ever had an issue with viewport denoising on Blender 2.3? It's always crashing. Yeah, it also crashes on me. Maybe that's a bug because remember 2.3 is still in development. So it's possible to be a bug. I don't want this to pull too much focus away from everything else, so I think I can go to my furniture collection and add some seats. Okay, that's not what I want. Now, if you want the water to go up, you just have to move the surface that has the water. So, for example, this. I thought not like that. Like how? Here's my doors. Let's use 40. I hear a baby. You still hear a baby? Maybe that's a ghost in my house haunting. Let's see. What else can I add in here? you hear a beep, peep. It's from my side. Or it's on my side. That's my what is it called? It's my power meter. Add in this chair somewhere. It's my power meter. Why do you use a power meter? We have a prepaid system here. So you pay for you pay the power bill before you use the power bill, if you know what I mean. Like it's like paying for data, except you only use what you have already paid for. So the power meter just reminds you. It's just a way to check on how much power you still have on. And yeah, so mine is when your power is about to finish, you get that warning. So I have about, I don't know, 15 units, which would take me for a few days. So with that said, here is my add-on pay. Sorry, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was just trying to make a joke, but anyway, yeah. So when you're about to run out, you can it start beeping. So the joke was my power is about to run out. Buy the add-ons. That's a silly joke. Anyway, let's grab this. I want to give this a translucent material. I think maybe that's too much. Let's see, 10. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's true. Those bills have to be paid somehow. Active element. If the power run out and the computer stops working, well, the power just goes off completely. So anything that uses power, electricity, will also go off, including your PC. Yes. Like, isn't there a backup generator? This is at my own home, so I don't live in an apartment. I live at my own house, so I don't have a backup generator. I don't need a power generator. I have enough money to pay the bills. I just get lazy, and 15 units is enough for me to. Is enough to take me for maybe 3 days or 4 days, and I'm going to pay the power bill today. I just haven't gotten around to do it. There's an app for doing it. I just get a bit lazy at doing it. I only panic when it's about to run out, and it's not yet running out. So don't worry too much about me. Hello, Hassan Solmaz. How are you doing? If you have money to put into the generator, why not use it to pay the power bill? So the power is not going off because because of anything. It's going off because you're not paying the bills. It will go off because I've not cleared the bills. And if I have money to put into a generator, I would just put it into paying the bill itself instead of, yeah. Why don't you use like a gas generator? Because the electricity is better, far better. And generators are, I have actually never heard of that. Same system here in Indonesia. Oh, greetings from Indonesia. Yeah, I think it's actually a better system because you don't get a monthly power bill. You just pay what you're using. And if you're not going to use that, sometimes just too lazy to pay it, and it just goes beep beep. Yeah. So it seems like. So I read, when does yours start to beep? Does it start beeping at 15 units? Because that's when mine start beeping. What the engine render? So I'm using EV for this, if that's what you're asking. Monthly is better because we are 9 people. I see. But this prepaid is, I think is much better because you can easily tell what is wasting power. For the monthly bill, you have to wait after the end of the month to know what is doing that. But here, if I switch off my computer, I switch off everything else, I can switch one by one and switch back one by one and see what is using up more power. And for me, that's mostly my PC because that's my PC and maybe my fridge, which I rarely use. Where is water? You can set it to be 15 or 20. Yeah, I think you're using exactly the same as what we use here. So mine is around the size of a smartphone, but maybe a bit larger. It looks like a calculator. Yeah, I think that's it. You only use a PC and a fridge. I'm trying to see what else I use here. That would take that much power. And that takes any significant power. Maybe my microwave, but that is not on always the time. Everything else I switch on and switch off. Most of the time I have my fridge and my computer on, so that's the biggest consumers, I think, of my power. Don't you use a PC or the AC? I have an AC, but here the weather it fluctuates too much that an AC is not necessary. It's not too necessary to have on all the time. Trying to look at different angles we can use here. Yeah, the weather here is not too bad. We need the AC because we rarely get water, so the place is always hot. Yes, because you said you were in Dubai. I understand that. It must be very hot there. PC configurations, specifications, please. So, this is it. That's my CPU. It's an i5, 8 GB of RAM, and a 1060. So this is it. I think I'm ending the stream here. Let me first see how this is going to render in cycles. Okay. Blend is. This is. Let me first. Of course, Blender crashed. Yeah, that was in Eevee. It was in Eevee. Thanks and great work. Thank you for being around as well. I want to use cycles to do a quick. Okay, this view is also good. Let me do a final view of cycles and then we can end the live stream. 123 likes. I think we have hit a new high for the number of likes. So I really appreciate that. And if you haven't liked the stream, it would be amazing if you did right now. And great job. Thank you. Thank you. Great stream. Thank you. Okay. And now I'm not sure what's happening. Why is Psycho rendering like this? I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me first turn off the noising and see. Oh, in another platform. For some reason, oh, I think I know why this is happening. I think the emission strength is too high for cycles. So what I can do is just first remove this. So it seems cycles doesn't really want to render emission values. Let me turn on optical denoising. Miss Pass will be good and efficient. You think so? Yeah, because I'm also looking at this and let me try. But I would have to do. Nice. I think this is a bug because I've tried to use the emission value somewhere and it worked just fine. So Cycles is not really handling that very well. Yeah, so I'll give this a render. For now, that is the end of the stream. Thank you very much for being here. And 130 likes.